say go. Hello everyone. Today I am going to challenge each of you to create your own bird nest. Spring is almost here, which means that birds everywhere will soon be preparing for the arrival of their babies. Now to do this, they need to start building cozy nests. Did you know that birds only spend a short amount of time building their nests? Typically, building a nest can take anywhere from just a few days up to 2 weeks. March and April are great months to get back outside in nature. And if you look carefully, you'll be able to see nests popping up all over the place. Let's talk a little more about the nest building process. The building process often starts in a pretty messy way. First, sticks and twigs are dropped into the chosen tree. With a bit of luck, some of these sticks will become lodged in the tree's branches. And over time, these sticks that have been dropped begin to build up to form a very loose outline of a nest. And it's okay, because the birds find their way back to tidy things up a little bit later. Now, birds don't have fingers like we do. So how do you think they build their nests? If you guessed with their beaks, you're right. Birds use their sharp beaks to manipulate and weave the fibers of their nests together. Then, birds rely on spider webs or mud to strengthen their nests, turning a loose group of twigs into a structurally sound home. Some birds even use their own saliva, which is their spit, as a type of nest glue. In the same way that we humans have different preferences when it comes to finding a home, different species of birds build their nests in different ways. Let's take a look at some of the different kinds of bird nests we might be lucky enough to see if we go out exploring. Let's start with the cup nest. The cup nest is probably the most common bird nest, which means it's more than likely the one you'll see the most of. Its name tells us that a cup nest is shaped like a cup or a bowl. Many songbirds build cup nests. These nests can be built in the branches of a tree, like in the crack where one branch joins another. However, some can simply stick the nest right onto the branch of a tree. And they use lots of materials that will act like glue, which include mud, rotten wood, spider webs, and caterpillar silk. Cup nesters use all kinds of materials to build their nest: twigs or tiny branches, grass, leaves, moss, and then they use all sorts of materials to keep it from falling apart. Most cup nesters use rough, scratchy material for the outside. This gives them protection and camouflage. When it comes to the inside, they put soft, cozy materials in. They want to make sure that their babies stay nice and cozy, so they use things like moss and fur, feathers, and even cotton sometimes on the inside. There's another type of cup nest that's actually called a suspended cup nest. This type of nest is attached to the branch at the top and the sides, but then it drops down like a bag below. It really looks more like a vase than a cup. The bird is almost hidden when she warms her eggs, and the mother bird can sit down on the branch above the nest and bend down to feed her baby birds. Orioles are very famous for building amazingly long bags that hang far below the branch. Now, the smallest cup nests are made by hummingbirds, like you see here. They can be as tiny as a thimble. The tiny nest holds eggs that are as tiny as peas. Now, the largest cup nest is probably the stork's. His nest can be 9 feet deep and 6 feet wide. The stork's nest is so big that smaller birds actually make nests in its cracks, holes, and branches. Let's talk next about the adherent nests. Adherent nests adhere. They stick to buildings, trees, cliffs, or any other structure that stands upright. Swallows, which is a type of bird, can build an almost perfectly round nest out of mud. Some species make cup-shaped nests, while others make jug-like nests with little holes in the sides. They put little balls of mud in their mouth and mix it with their saliva, making a special clay, and as it dries, it becomes hard. Let's move on to platform nests. These are pretty cool. I've never really seen a lot of these around, but you'll definitely need to let me know if you spot any. Platform nests are built mostly by raptors, which are birds that eat prey, so eagles and hawks. They're usually huge and very, very high up on the sides of cliffs, maybe, or up high in a big tree. It takes months and months to make these nests, adding branch by branch. They often return to the same nest year after year and continue to build it. It's because of this that the platform nests get so big. A bald eagle's nest, for example, can weigh as much as a ton. That's about the same as a small car. And it's so heavy that it sometimes can hurt the tree that it's built in. Now, there are 2 more types of nests to talk about. There are earth hole nests, like you see here, that are basically inside the earth. They're burrows or tunnels in the ground or in the sides of cliffs. They like using abandoned rabbit holes too. The burrowing owl only uses already dug holes for its nest. And then last but not least for today, there's something called ground and mound nests. I'm sure you'd probably spot a couple of these if you go out on some adventures. Many birds nest right on the ground. So after carving out a little hole, ground and mound nesters line the nest with grass or other materials. Geese will even pick feathers from their own chests to make a nice downy bed for their eggs. Most ducks, geese, and quail like the ground for nesting. Penguins, which we definitely don't see here, they also like to nest on the ground. They'll push rocks around the nest to keep it from washing away with floodwaters. So now that you've seen and heard about some of the different nests that birds will build, it's time for you to decide what kind of nest you're going to build. Maybe you'll create your own style of nest that's completely unique to you. In the kits you received a variety of materials to get you started. I do, however, encourage you to get outside, go for some adventures, look around and see how many nests you can spot, and what kinds of nests you find, and also to pick up some natural materials to help you build, just like the birds. Please remember to share photos of your completed nests because we'd love to see all of your different creations. Now, on your mark, get set, go and build a nest. Until next time, Ona!